Is this thing on? There we go. Hey there, this is me, Daniel DiPiazza. I am the Authority Architect. If you are someone who is an expert in your field, but you want to go from just another person to the number one authority in your industry, well, you're here on the right channel. This channel has tons of different playlists and things that you can plug into to learn how to become the number one authority in your space. I'm also vlogging every single day in 2026 about my business and life. If you want to see how I'm building my company, New Wave Press, I go behind the scenes. I tell exactly what's going on. I'm pretty honest about it. I'm pretty open. Sometimes I cry on these videos. I'm sure you'll like that. So make sure to like and subscribe. Leave a comment below with anything you have that comes to your mind. Today, we're going to talk about preparation. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. You've probably heard that before. Now, it's on my mind because we're raising money right now at New Wave. We're raising $1 million. And as we're doing that, I'm preparing to speak with potential investors. And what I find so interesting is that, well, case in point, we have an investor meeting on Tuesday. And it's a 30-minute meeting. So I'm thinking about this meeting, and we've had it scheduled since Wednesday. We're putting together the pitch. So we have about 6 days to put together the pitch. And what I realize is that over the last 6 days, as we've been putting it together, between then and the day we actually have to deliver it, I'll have put in about 20 to 25 hours of work thinking about the pitch, refining it, writing it down, working with my co-founder Isaac to smooth it out, putting it onto slides, rehearsing it multiple times, scripting it. All this for what will be a 5-minute presentation in a 30-minute meeting. So think about that. It's similar to Usain Bolt saying, I prepared 20 years or 10 years for 10 seconds, something like that. We're putting in 20 to 25 hours of preparation time for a 5-minute presentation that's inside of a 30-minute meeting, because we want to give the meeting enough time to breathe to answer questions. We don't necessarily want to take up the whole meeting having a conversation or pitching. We want to have a conversation. And what this reminds me of is that in order to get outsized returns, you need to have outsized preparation for those returns. They often say that luck comes to those who are prepared, or preparation favors luck favors the prepared, or what is it? Luck is just opportunity meets preparation. Those are like a couple of different phrases they say about luck. I think that's definitely true. And I think that many beginners and even people who are experienced either don't understand or don't remember how much work and how much preparation has to go into important, relevant moments in your life, especially when you are trying to roll out a new version of you. You're trying to start something brand new. You're trying to create something that hasn't been done before in your life, and you're trying to make a big change. You have to put in the groundwork first in order to be relaxed when the event occurs. If you're a competitive athlete, you really can't control the outcome of a game. You can't control it. You can't control the scoreboard as in a team sport. Let's say you can't control the scoreboard, and also even if it's an individual sport, the other player gets a move as well. So you can't always control the outcome of the events, but you can control the input that you put in order to get to the point where you're ready to let it all hang out, to let it fly. When you go into a competitive event and you're completely prepared, you can relax because you've done everything you can do. It doesn't mean that you're even going to win. It just means that after that event, win or lose, you can look back and say, all right, I gave it my best shot. And your best shot, your best effort may change over the years, meaning that you're going to get better at what you're doing. And as you get better, your effort will be more efficient, your effort will be more powerful, the effect will work better. But you can only do the best you can do in that moment based on the preparation that you have. And if you are prepared, when you go into these competitive situations, whether it's, in our case, it's going to be a pitch meeting or a board meeting or a sales call or an interview, whether you're being interviewed or interviewing someone, if you are absolutely prepared, the best you can be, then you can be relaxed. You don't need to be nervous. And when you are as prepared as you can be, then you have the best chance of getting what you want, because what I've found in life is that the more attached you are to the outcome, the less likely you are to get that outcome. When you want something really, really bad, you often push it away. Now, what does this mean? It doesn't mean that you shouldn't want the things that you want or go after the things that you want. Really, what it means is that the energy of wanting is the energy of not having. And when you are acknowledging that you don't have something, you often get less of that. I mean, think about how many times you really needed something to happen and it didn't happen, but when you didn't need that thing, it just came to you. It's kind of like the rich get richer. When the all the famous actors and entertainers go to the Oscars, they get all these gift bags with tens of thousands of dollars worth of goodies and toys and gifts and crap. And these are the people who need it the least, right? It's crazy how people who already have the most tend to get more of the stuff that normal people have to pay for and often can't afford. But there's a spiritual corollary to that, which is if you're spiritually rich, then you're going to get more of those riches because you already acknowledge that you are a receiver of those things. I didn't intend for this video to go into the spiritual realm, but it does happen like that. And it's the same thing with when you're trying to create something new in your life. If you start from a place of I don't have and I really need, oftentimes that thing is hard to come by. And so we have to go into a frame of trying as hard as we can in terms of preparation. So giving ourselves the benefit of being completely prepared, which means not procrastinating. I've talked in other videos about procrastination, how that kills us, which means having a clear vision for what it is that we want, which means blocking out our time to make sure that we have adequate time to prepare for that thing that we're preparing for, which means taking care of our body and our mind going into the competitive event or the situation, sleep, water, food, basic stuff, coffee maybe for you. These are all things that have to happen in order to be our best and to be prepared. And if you're looking to sell something or you're looking to get someone to buy into something that is important to you, then you're going to have to rehearse. And that could be as simple as running through a script that you write for yourself and talking it out. It could be going back and forth with a friend or a business partner or a colleague to map these things out. But you have to go into whatever meeting or whatever situation that you are entering, having already run through the scenario in your mind and being as prepared as possible to answer objections, to think through what the other person might be thinking, and to run through scenarios where you've already kind of role played the most important parts of the encounter in your head first, because that's going to make you feel more comfortable. And the more comfortable you are, the more at ease you are, the more relaxed you are, the more likely you are to get what you want. And so it's not a matter of how bad do you want it. It's a matter of how prepared are you to do the work up front, and then how easy is it at that point for you to let go of the outcome and just perform and do the thing. And so you might find that if you have a 1 hour presentation, you might have to prepare for several hours in order to make that presentation the best it can be. And it can vary, right? Even if I have a team meeting or a meeting with other members of an author, an author teams, authors are all entrepreneurs. They have their own business and marketing teams. When I go into meetings with other teams from other companies that we're working with, I'll make sure that if it's a 30-minute meeting, I might have spent 90 minutes to 2 hours just preparing for that 30-minute meeting. Because when I go in there, I want everyone to feel the fact that I've really reviewed this. I know who the stakeholders are. I know what the problems are. I know what the solutions are ahead of time. I mean, I don't know everything, but I'm trying to identify these things. And I go in there with a plan. And also, I go in there ready to lead. I go in there ready to say, hey, listen, this is how I think it should be done. This is what I think the timeline is. This is how I think we should do it. This is what I think the opportunities are, the obstacles. And oftentimes you'll find that people want to be led. They want to feel like someone else cares about the outcome as much or more than them. And when they do, they're willing to let you have control and obviously honor that gift that they're giving you of leadership and control, and then do it well. And it can only come from a preparation standpoint. You can only be a leader when you're prepared. And so if you often have to over prepare for the things that even seem trivial. And when you do that, people will really respect that. And they will see the energy and effort that you put into the work that you're doing. And they'll know that you're not playing around. And even if you go into a meeting, you don't have to say, hey guys, I prepared for, 2 hours for this 30-minute meeting. Like, you don't need to say that. It should come off in your preparation. Because the reality is most people are winging it. Most people are not thinking ahead of time and using strategy and thinking about how they're going to say and what they're going to say. And when you do, it'll show, even if you don't communicate that you did that. So these are some ideas on preparation. These are some ideas on the fact that being over prepared is much more important than you might have ever been taught in school, because school teaches us to cram for things and to study for other things last minute. But in the everyday world, um, you know, you really stand out by just putting in that extra amount of time to go the distance to show that you really care um, about what it is that you're showing up to. Anyway, proper preparation prevents poor performance. Over prepare for the things that are really important to you, and it'll pay you off in spades. I know I do, and it will work for you. That's it. Daniel out. Like and subscribe. See you tomorrow. Peace.